And that's all I have for that. Do you guys have any questions?
No.
So I have a question. What's up with Ravi?
Yeah. Yeah, that's my question.
I guess you're about to find out. Cue the intro! So, last we left off, the Crown Gall set sail towards the Eastern Isles in search of a relic, the greataxe of the Orc warmaster turned archdevil Daemo. They received a tour of their ship, the Isle Runner, only to find a half-dozen mimics stowed away in the cargo hold. After quickly dispatching of the threat, the party went to the galley where Ori killed a mouse with magic missiles, only to find out the mouse was actually a pet of the crew's carpenter Trael. After a lot of yelling, followed by Trael spitting at Ori's feet, followed by more yelling, Captain Valhal finally made the two apologize and move on from the incident. The next few days were fairly uneventful, although Trael did slowly grow more welcoming towards the party, and he also told them about Captain Valhal's past, specifically how her father was a previous captain before he died defending himself against a mutiny. A storm brought two water elementals on board, but the party easily killed the creatures and gained more trust among the Isle Runner's crew. The next day, on the morning of the 24th of Rain Blossom, Ori spotted a wrecked ship on the edge of a large fog bank. On the wreck, the party found most of the cargo was gone, and someone had already searched through the ship. They also found the person responsible for looking through the ship, a gold dragonborn and deckhand who said his name was Ravi. A detect thought spell from Ori revealed that Ravi was not actually part of the ship's crew. The actual crew was killed by an ancient gold dragon on the nearby and aptly named Fog Island. With the party on full alert, they cautiously agreed to bring Ravi with them back onto the Isle Runner, hoping that the captain will know more about the ship, which crashed, named the Salty Dragon. And now, with the rain stopping but dark overcast clouds still covering the sky, the Crown Gall reach the Isle Runner in their longboats as the crew lowers down ropes to help the party and Ravi climb on board.
Captain, we found a survivor.
Captain Valhal walks up, stopping in front of Ravi with one hand cautiously on the grip of her rapier as she eyes up the Dragonborn. She asks, "You were a crew member on that ship?" Ravi nervously holds his hands up and says, yes, I was." Captain Valhal doesn't speak for a moment as she continues to look very carefully at the Dragonborn. Ham will take the moment to speak up and ask, "What happened to your ship?" Ravi says, "Well, the navigator, I guess, got a little too close to the rocks. I'm just a deckhand. I don't know too much about the specifics on what happened."
Can I see his hands? Do his hands look like they're the hands of a deckhand? Somebody who's going to be doing a lot of rough work all the time?
Make a perception check.
Where's perception? There it is. 19.
Looking carefully at his hands from where you are, from what it looks like he does have fairly rough hands.
Okay.
Are you familiar with the crew of the Salty Dragon at all, Captain?
At the mention of the Salty Dragon, everyone in the ship's crew, except for the captain, draws their weapons and points them towards the Dragonborn. As the Dragonborn takes a step back, Ham will say, "The Salty Dragon is a pirate ship."
Oh! We did not realize that when we were looking at the wreck.
Ravi will say, "I'm not a pirate, I swear."
I cast a Zone of Truth on him.
Robbie, you said you were a deckhand on that ship.
Give me 1 second while I get the saving throw. That's a charisma save.
Yes.
I forget, do they know it's being cast?
I believe
It's
so.
verbal and semantic, so he knows I cast something.
Ravi will glance over towards Michaelmas, but you realize that while the spell went off, Ravi succeeded on the saving throw against it.
Okay.
But Ravi will look around and say, "I'm not a pirate. Don't worry, I'm friendly."
Robbie, I think you better tell us the truth. You were either on that ship and you're a pirate, or you're not from that. You're not original member of that crew, and you didn't realize claiming to have been would have made you a pirate by implication.
The captain will step forward. As she looks carefully into Ravi's eyes, she slowly draws out her rapier, still half within the scabbard. She says, "I know what you are." At which point, Ravi will let out a sigh and put down his hands. And then he'll look over towards Ori and say, "You are correct. I did not realize it was a pirate ship."
Do you want to introduce yourself to us again?
I told you, my name is Ravi.
Why were you on the ship, Robbie?
He does not answer the question, but instead just turned back to face the captain, who's still staring at Ravi very intently. Ravi will curiously tilt his head to one side and say, "You know, you remind me of a pirate captain who trespassed on the island many years ago. Perhaps the apple does not fall far from the tree." At which point the captain will finally pull out her rapier all the way and point it towards the Dragonborn's throat.
So did you give any other kind of sign before doing that? Like, is he telling the truth?
Make an insight check.
22?
You're on fire tonight.
Ravi does not seem like he's lying.
And her reaction when she pulled the, before she pulled the weapon, what was hers?
The captain now has a very angry look on her face.
Robbie, I have reason to believe an ancient gold dragon killed the crew of the Salty Dragon. Would you know anything about that?
He looks over towards you, Ori. Before he can speak, the captain says, "We can't trust anything he says." Ravi will look back towards the captain and ask, "Are you sure about that?"
Captain, we can't just kill him. He hasn't done anything wrong. Well, besides lie, but that's not a death sentence, surely.
The captain does not take her eyes off of Ravi, but she says to Ori, "None of us could kill him if we wanted to. Now, Get off my ship. Ravi will look back at the captain and say, I know that look in your eyes. The look of a soul haunted by what they know and what they've seen. At which point the captain will take a half step forward, the tip of her rapier now directly in contact with Ravi's throat, as she says again, get off my ship.
I'm most
You better
towards-
listen to her, Ravi. She doesn't seem like she's messing around.
I'm most towards Ash and Corvus. Go away!
Ravi will look around at everyone else, and then back at the captain, and then say, very well, but we do not have to be enemies. At which point, he will do a backflip off of the ship, down into the water, with a big splash. As everyone turns to look down into the water, Ravi does not come up.
No, I'm guessing that was the ancient dragon, actually.
The captain will just give Ori a look, confirming it but not saying anything, as she feels it's very obvious at this point. So then the captain will yell over towards Sean, who is still at the helm. Sean, get us off this rock. Aye aye, Captain.
Why would a dragon try to get passage on a ship? They can fly, right?
Well, this one apparently can swim at least, so
Yeah.
even if they can't fly.
Did I see the dragon flying in the image of it killing the soldiers? Or the sailors, I should say.
Yes, you did.
Well, the gold dragon I saw could fly.
Keeping an eye out, like on the sea between us and the fog island, do we see any large dragon-shaped shapes take out from the ocean and up into the sky?
Make a perception check, Michaelmas.
22.
As you look out into the fog, you think you just barely make off something gold coming up out of the water, but you're not quite able to see what it was exactly.
So remind me not to be a pirate and land on Fog Island.
I guess.
Yeah, that was weird.
It was
Where's the
weird.
captain? I don't see her token. She left the deck, is that right?
Yes, the captain, after giving the order to set sail, quickly went into her cabin.
Did Ravi's story about what I assume was her Captain Valhal's father, that did not jive with what we've heard previously. He implied that he was a pirate captain.
I mean, all we know is he was a captain who fought off a mutiny.
So if he was a pirate captain and his daughter said, I don't want to be a pirate anymore, and led a mutiny and then killed him?
I wonder.
Ham will walk over to you three who are talking and say, leave the scuttlebutt for later. Come on. Help us tie down the sails.
All right.
Okay.
As Sean slowly navigates the ship away from the rocks in the fog outside Fog Island, the rest of the day is fairly uneventful. Although looking at the sun is now setting at your backs, as the ship appears to be moving eastward towards your first island destination, is Likoryu. During dinner that night, it is leftover porridge, courtesy of Porter. As everyone is getting their meals, everyone realizes the captain has not come out of her cabin since the incident this morning.
Something with that dragon really got to her.
Maybe we should check in on her.
I suppose someone should.
Okay, fine.
You talk to her more.
Yeah, we have a bit more of a rapport, I guess. That's fair.
Why does it need to be one of us? Can't one of our crew take care of it?
Well, now I'm actually kind of curious, so I'm gonna do it anyways. They had their chance.
And you've got your mind reading, so.
You don't know that.
So Ori, as you walk up to one of the doors of the captain's cabin and give a knock, you hear the captain's voice inside ask, "What?"
Captain, hi. Well, actually, before I go up, can I have grabbed some food for her? Did anyone bring food to her?
No one did, although it looked like Porter was about to bring a bowl up himself.
I'll go to Porter and volunteer to bring the captain her food. And, then bring that to her quarters. And, I'll just be like, Captain, it's, me, Ori. I was bringing your dinner and just, we were a little worried since you kind of disappeared and wanted to make sure you're okay.
There's a moment of silence before the captain says, "You can come in."
Thank you.
As Ori steps into the captain's quarters for the first time, she can see, while the rear mast dominates the center of the room, there is a desk set up on one side with a small bookshelf, a rather large bed set up underneath the rear window, and off to the other side is the captain sitting at a small round table. She has shed her maroon captain's coat around the back of one chair. Her long white hair is out of her typical ponytail and is hanging down on either side of her face. As her normal, very prompt posture is gone, as she is slumped forward, both of her hands holding either side of a mug. She won't look at you, Ori, but she'll
Ori
say...
just... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, she'll say, "I assume this is more than just a dinner run?"
Well, yes, but it can be just a dinner run if you insist, but I just wanted... Well, actually it is a little bit more. She'll put the dinner down in front of her and say, I am sorry for bringing him on the ship. I knew he was lying. Not exactly to what extent. So, I mean, I guess... I guess maybe I should have pressed harder back on the salty sea dog before bringing him onto your ship. So I am sorry about that. I guess I wanted to help more than I wanted to press, which maybe was not the best decision for your ship and your crew.
The captain, still with her eyes staring off in a 1,000-yard stare, will just say, "To be honest, I don't know what else you could have done. Ancient dragons have their own agendas."
Yeah, I've never come across one before. It seems like you have some experience, though.
Not exactly.
No? I mean, I know you have to be the captain to your crew, you know, you have to, you know, be the port in the storm, you know, keep the ship sailing right, but you know, if you wanted to talk about it to me, you know, you don't have to be just a captain if you need someone to talk it out with at all, because obviously he shook you up a bit, and I would never presume to know what all he was, you know, insinuating, but yeah.
After a moment, the captain says, "I will keep that in mind."
Well, it's no good to worry on an empty stomach, so please do eat your dinner and take care. And Ori will take her leave.
After Ori puts her hand on the door, the captain says, "I wasn't talking about my father."
Oh. Mother?
Grandfather.
Grandfather. Oh wow. Was that your father's father?
Yeah.
Hmm. And your grandfather had a run-in with an ancient dragon?
Not an ancient dragon. That ancient dragon.
Ooh. What, do you know what happened?
The captain's hands grip a little bit tighter on her mug. And the captain says, Thank you for bringing me dinner."
Of course, Captain. Have a good evening. Well, I probably let the curiosity get ahead of me, but there's some family history there. Ancient history, you might say. But I don't think Ori's gonna share, like, the full details. Like, even more detail than that, than what the captain told her.
With that, with the sun setting down below the horizon, the party and the crew slowly heads in for the night. As the party heads back over in their sleeping quarters, Trael and Porter seem to be having an argument, with Trael saying, "I mean, it's gotta be true now, right? I mean, you saw what happened." As Porter lays down in his hammock and says, "Trael, please, just for one night, just stop the gossip." And Trael says, "I mean, what else am I supposed to do to pass the time here?"
What are we gossiping about?
Porter says, "We are not gossiping about anything, but that buffoon over there," as he tosses his sock back, not even looking, but it still hits Trael straight in the face. "That buffoon is gossiping about the captain."
Anything we need to know?
Trael sits up in his hammock and says, "Well, you know, the thing is," although he gets cut off by a sigh from Porter. At which point, Trael will send a glare over towards Porter, then look over to make sure no one's about to enter. Then Trael will whisper, "Well, you know, the captain's not a typical human, you see. She's one of them Kalishtar."
Do I know what that is?
Yeah.
Make a history check.
Wow.
Michaelmas is not familiar with Kalishtar. Ori has heard of them, but doesn't really know a lot about them. But Trael will say, yeah. See, Kalishtar, they're these people that got their minds linked or connected or whatever to people who got lost in the astral sea.
That sounds maddening.
Yeah, I know. I mean, can you imagine how awful it'd be to have some random person in your head giving you weird dreams and nightmares and such?
No idea whatsoever.
Or you make a deception check.
Do I trust her? Do I break out laughing?
Ooh.
Or you seem to keep it cool. Michaelmas, make a deception check.
Come on, Mickey, don't mess this up for me. No, Mickey!
I burst out laughing.
Trael looks over towards Mickey, wondering why the ASMR cleric is now laughing. Fortunately for Ori, Trael will ignore Michaelmas for a moment, then look back over towards Ori and says, "Well, once again, you did not hear this from me, but apparently word around the taverns that the captain apparently is connected to some sailor, you know, who saw a bunch of stuff out at sea. That's why she's, sort of the way she is, you know?"
Sure. I wonder if that makes her a better sailor at all. If you're connected to someone who has experienced so much on the sea.
Oh, better sailor, of course. I mean, she was captain at 16.
Okay, wow.
Wow. Impressive.
Yeah, not everyone can do that.
How old is Billy?
Make a perception check. Unless you just straight up ask him how old he is.
No, this is Ori trying to figure out how old she thinks this human child is.
He looks to be in his late teens, maybe around 17. Give or take a year.
Yeah, I mean, just look at Billy. That she says in response.
Oh.
Billy will look over towards you, Ori, and open his mouth, about to say something, but then just give a and roll over with his back towards you.
Come on, didn't I have to get a chuckle from the crew or anything? She was trying to be funny saying that.
Trael will smile. Porter apparently is actually trying to sleep despite everyone talking.
Poor guy.
But Trael will lay back down, into his hammock and say, "Yep, out of all the ships in the sea you could have picked, you definitely picked the most interesting one."
Lucky us.
Seems like it, yeah. Alright.
Well, guess we better go to sleep so we can see what adventures we have tomorrow.
Yes. With everyone falling asleep in their hammocks, they do quickly fall into their slumber. However, in the middle of the night, one of the Crown Gall is met with a strange dream. Corvus is suddenly woken up in his sleep by the sound of a light and rhythmic knock on wood. As he opens his eyes, he finds himself sitting in an armchair after apparently falling asleep while leaning forward onto a large and cluttered desk that sits right in front of him. He looks around and he sees he's in an office that's lit by floating orbs of white light, and there are several bookshelves lining the stone walls around him. He only has a second to catch his bearings and to notice rain pouring outside a small arched window when the wooden door to the office opens up, and in walks a wood elf, a woman with tan skin, blue eyes, and long black hair pulled back in a ponytail. She closes the door behind her, and as Corvus sees she's wearing green and white robes with a white pin, Corvus quickly recognizes her as the Divination Dean of Eastmarch. The same dean who the party met about a week ago in Anatoly, and also the dean who is the supposed stepmother of Alex. The elf gives Corvus a smile and says, "Allie, festival starts in an hour."
Festival? What festival?
She does not answer the question, but continues moving as she steps behind the desk right next to Corvus, then sits back on top of the desk, crossing her legs under her robes and placing both hands on her knee, very proper-like. As she looks over towards Corvus, she says, "You know, dear, I think the people of Anatoly would greatly appreciate some clear weather for the festivities."
Is my magic wand anywhere near me?
Oh. Make it an investigation check.
Seven.
Corvus looks around, trying to find the wand he had from his previous vision, his previous memory he saw of Alabaster Stein. He can't actually find the wand, although suddenly he sees the wand being held out right in front of him by the elf. She says, "I have to keep track of everything for you, don't I?"
It seems so. I will take the wand and go to the window and thank clear skies and wash the wand back and forth because I don't know what I'm doing.
As Corvus looks out into the dark, overcast, rainy sky, as he thinks about clear weather, his mouth and throat suddenly mutter out arcane words, which he doesn't understand the meaning of, but he still somehow knows somewhere deep within his mind. And as his hands and arms begin moving in an arcane gesture, Corvus sees a parting in the clouds, almost as if the eye of a hurricane gets opened up in the center of the storm cloud. And as the eye slowly spreads, the weather becomes clearer and clearer. And after 10 minutes, there is no sign of a thunderstorm ever taking place. And instead, there's just a clear blue sky.
Well, that was interesting.
The elf will stand up off the desk, then stand next to you, Corvus. You never cease to amaze me, Allie. As Corvus looks down at her, he suddenly realizes that her hand grabbed Corvus's hand. As she gives him a light squeeze, she asks, "So, how did your wife react when you told her about us?"
I assume she did not take it well.
The elf gives Corvus a very puzzled and confused look. However, Corvus is unable to ask any more questions as he suddenly gets woken up by the sound of yelling up above as Sean is yelling, "Land ho!"
Have we been asleep enough to get a full rest in or not?
Yes, as everyone wakes up, it is now the morning of the 25th of Rain Blossom, and everyone finishes a long rest.
Okay.
As everyone prepares their spells for the day, Porter is out on the top deck handing out prepared bowls of porridge, the last of the porridge, thankfully, as it's beginning to grow rather stale and repetitive so far on this voyage, as the rest of the crew is out preparing 4 longboats to take the crew and the party out towards the distant island. As the party looks out, they see a round island that is covered in a dense jungle and surrounded by many sharp rocks in the water. The Outrunner ship curves around towards the north side of the island, where they spot the mouth of a river emptying out into the sea, right next to a couple of small sandy beaches, where the party will hopefully be able to enter onto the island.
I'll ask the captain or whichever one of the crew is nearest me. So what do you all know about this island? What should we be prepared for?
Trael will say, "Well, legend has it, Isla Koryu is full of great and terrible beasts and monsters, so we'll be doing our foraging close by the shore in the longboats while y'all do whatever it is that y'all are here for."
So the whole crew is coming with us to the island. There's like no one left on the ship.
I know, it appears that Sean is going to stay back with the ship, while everyone else on the crew is going on shore.
Have you been on the island before to gather supplies?
Trael says, "No, we've never stopped here before. I mean, this is one of the islands that everyone avoids, you know, because of the big, dangerous monsters that I just mentioned."
Noted.
Well, this ought to be fun.
I think Ori will call up to Sean and be like, "Thanks for looking after the ship, though I'm gonna start worrying that you can't leave, that you're cursed to be here forever." She's in a kind of teasing, jokey way.
For the first time, while the party has not known Sean for a long time, he openly laughs a very loud and hearty laugh. Little surprising, he just says, "Ha ha 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 ha! Oh, do not worry about me."
Okay, if you insist.
With everyone getting their supplies ready, the party follows along in 2 longboats behind the crew, and soon everyone makes for the shore next to the river, which is slowly emptying out into the sea.
So, Mickey, what in information do we have for, like, what we're looking for, or where it might be, or what it looks like?
So, not a whole lot. There was an axe that was supposed to have been thrown to the bottom of the sea, but instead was taken to an island, I think a temple on the island, and yeah, that's
Okay.
kind of where the information ends. I think. Is that everything important that I know?
Yes, that is. You were not given a lot of great details. Although, as the party is talking about that, Ham will walk over towards the party and say, "Well, just so you know, we're planning on setting sail for the next island at sundown, but that should give you plenty of time to check out the entire island, as long as you don't waste time dilly-dallying."
Okay. I'll let you know if we're running late.
I look a
I'll
little confused towards Ori and say, how?
Ori's gonna smile sweetly and say into his mind, I have my ways.
Ham will look a little scared, then look around at everyone else to see if anyone else heard that. And then he'll say, "Right, well, try not to get lost."
We'll do our best.
Aye, aye.
I'll look to Ash as the outdoorsman amongst us to see.
Yeah. Well, I think we should probably try to stick near the river, and we can at least find our way back. And, you know, being on an island, fresh water is important, so I'm guessing any sort of structure or town or anything should be near the river, I would think.
I like that logic.
And do we think, by looking at the size of the island as we sailed around it, that a day of searching is going to be enough to enough to like search it and find the thing and get back out?
Yeah, it's a small enough island where having a full day to look around and try to search the island, it's probably enough time.
And is there like a height on the island where we could head to up the river and then from that height kind of scan most of the island to see where other likely places are if we haven't found them already?
When you sailed into the island, it looked like this island was rather flat. Although you did notice there are some trees which do poke up over the top of the main tree line. So someone might be able to get a better vantage point by climbing a tree.
We all know how much Corvus likes climbing trees.
So this is a real river, right? It's like, is it freshwater or is it more of just like a channel made by the ocean?
Make a nature check.
I mean, I could also just stick my face into the water and taste it.
As Ori leans down and takes a quick sip of the water in the river, and it is indeed fresh water.
Interesting. Alright. Well, yeah. I think following the river sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, let's
Could we maybe even take boats up it? Is it shallow enough?
Ooh. You mean deep enough?
Yeah, are the boats shallow enough in the water?
Oh,
Deep
yeah.
enough? Yep.
Yes. You could take the boats upriver, although no one is especially adept at rowboats. It might be a little bit of a strain on your arms, depending on how far exactly the river goes into the island.
let's just hoof it.
Well, I'm certainly not rowing anyone anywhere, so I don't think I get a vote either way for that.
Let's walk. I'm sick of boats.
Yeah.
That settles it. Let's go.
Well, that's what the muscle wants. It's what we're gonna do.
You what is the marching order? As everyone heads down south.
Ash first, for
Ash
sure.
first.
Yep.
Yeah. Then I'll go.
I'll take up the back then.
I'll go next to Mari. Or do we have to be single file for this, or?
You don't have to be single file.
Perfect. Yeah, I like when we go in doubles like that.
So the party starts by moving south along the river bend. The river seems to be fairly straight, although it does have a few curves. As everyone is walking along, Ash, make a survival check.
Nat
Wow.
20?
Wow.
Sweet.
Looking through the trees, Ash is quickly able to find a couple of natural paths from large creatures that have walked through the trees.
Okay, that's not comforting.
Is there any sign that it's like recent activity?
With that high survival check, one of the trails does look like it's been recent, and it also appears to have been made by a huge-sized creature.
Huh. Well,
Make sure everyone knows. There might be a big creature out there, so just, be at the ready.
at least it's less bushwhacking.
Does the party follow the trail or continue along the river?
I think we follow the trail.
Well, how far from the river does the trail divert?
The trail appears to head westward away from the river, because the river is mostly running south.
I think we stay with the river.
I don't know. I liked your idea of like staying close to fresh water for the temple's needs. I don't know. I don't know why a wild creature would be drawn to the temple necessarily.
Yeah, I'm on the river too, team 2.
I mean, if the river's a bust, we can always come back to this, I guess.
Yeah. It's a big enough creature, we'll run into it regardless at some point.
Ew, don't say that.
I take it back.
Thanks. That's so comforting.
The party ignores the trail for now and continues walking south along the path of the river. After about an hour of walking, the party sees some of the trees open up in an area right in front of you. As you step closer, you see there is a large lake. It appears to be the source of the river. Looking around, you do not see any creatures, although on the far end of the lake, opposite of where the river starts, there appears to be a large pit of some kind that has been dug up.
Like, recently?
Dug up by like tools or by like paws with claws?
Well, as the party walks around the lake and cautiously moves closer, it appears to have been dug up by whatever creatures have lived here. As the party looks over, the party quickly sees that the pit in question is full of bones, as it appears to have become a makeshift dump for the beasts who live on this island.
Huh. Cool. They have like their own trash system. I didn't know beasts did that.
Huh.
So did Corvus cast water breathing on us within the past 24 hours?
I will right now.
Call.
Ori picks up a skull from the pit with Mage Hand.
Should I do like a divine sense or anything? that seem
Sure.
worth it?
You should have a lot of them, so yeah. Like
Yeah, I have 4.
both at the pit and into the lake. Can you
Yeah.
directional it?
Yes. So I can. Within
Okay.
60 feet, not behind total cover.
Okay. Until the end of your next turn, so you can definitely turn around. You can check out the bone pit and maybe get some of the lake too.
Mari uses her divine. Sorry, what was that?
Ash, do you know of any beasts that use garbage pits?
I don't know. Do I?
Make a nature check. While Ash is thinking about the question for Michaelmas, Mari focuses on her holy symbol and uses divine sense. As she walks from the edge of the bone pit over by the lake, she does not sense anything. However, as Ori decides to lift up a strange skull of a creature she does not recognize, see, Michaelmas and Ash both hear something move in the pit.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Is this like the pit in the Hagues?
And Ash, you are unsure of the answer to Michaelmas's question about whether or not there are any beasts who tend to dump out their bones in a pit like this.
The pit remind us of the hag.
From what I can tell, there aren't any humanoid bones inside this pit. They all seem to be of other creatures, which none of you are super familiar with.
I'm gonna put the skull at like Dash's face level and go like "Grr, rah, rah, rah," and then toss it back into the pit.
Dash will bark back at Ori, and seeing Ori throw the skull, Dash will jump in.
Oh
No!
Consequences.
Dash will find what looks to be a large femur bone of something and bite down on it. However, his ears suddenly poke up as he drops the bone and starts barking at something over in this direction in the pit.
Dash, come on,
Ash,
everybody.
come back.
Dash is not. Let's have Mari and Ori make animal handling checks.
Uh-oh.
We need you, Ori.
Oh, no promises, no promises.
Hearing Ori, Dash will look back at Ori for a moment, but won't actually get out of the pit. He'll then turn his head back over in this direction and continue barking. Ruff! Ruff!
Ash.
Ah,
Can I use
I'm
like
gonna-
a
gonna move
bone
on
with
closer.
mage hand to try to distract him and get him to chase it out of the pit?
Sure. Make another animal handling check with advantage, Ori. Ori uses her mage hand to lift up a bone and dangle it in front of Dash's face. The blink dog will suddenly look at the bone and start jumping up, trying to take a bite out of it.
Yeah, I'll get him out of the pit with that, and then I'll let him have the bone.
So with Ash and Michaelmas moving over in this direction, they suddenly see something move underneath some of the bones. As it quickly pops up its head, they see a small reptilian-like creature about the size of a chicken. It appears to be a raptor of some kind, with leathery gray skin and green feathers hanging off the back of its small arms. It
I have
pokes
my
its
holy
head up.
symbol out.
I'm sorry,
Oh,
what
it's
was that?
cute.
I have my holy symbol out.
Okay.
We don't need to bother. This is clearly not the temple. We can just leave, right?
Yeah. There could be a lot more of those in there.
When Mari says that, Ori backs up a bit.
When the creature sticks its head up out of the bones, Dash will see it. It will then blink out,
No!
poof,
No,
away from
Dash.
Ori, and appear right next to Ash before starting to bark again.
Ash, no. Bad dog.
Ruff, arr.
Can I move
What is it?
here to the bone pit, to the next to the bone pit?
Yes, you can. As
Can I
Dash,
grab-
Yeah, as Dash barks, the creature will let out a strange hissing noise.
Can I
towards
grab
Dash.
Dash's collar? Or does he not have a collar?
Wait, didn't we get him?
The
No.
party has not bought Dash a collar yet.
Let's just go. And I mean, I don't know if a collar would matter considering you can just blink out of your hands.
Yeah.
But,
That's right.
But come on,
Valid point.
let's just stop bugging it. This is not a temple, obviously. Not even the ruins of a temple.
Can I pick up a rock or a bone and throw it at this little creature?
Oh, don't hurt it.
I don't want to hit it, I just want to throw it near it.
Make a dexterity check.
The Ori who killed a mouse last week without remorse.
Yeah.
Ash picks up a small rock and tosses it, clatters down right in front of the small creature, which quickly ducks down behind some of the bones, then pops back up and starts running away down into
Oh.
the underbrush.
Alright, well, nothing to see here. Let's move along.
Yeah, can we actually do what we were supposed to and not dawdle? Lollygag?
Yeah.
Boondoggle?
Probably don't want to hang around the leftover scrap heap.
Alright.
As the party decides to move on, in which direction would you like to go? By this point, as you look out, you see not too far south from the bone pit appears to be the southern edge of the island.
Hmm.
Yeah, it looks like the river somewhat splits the island into two halves. So would you like to go east or west?
So we saw
Is
no
there any of
ruins
the-
or
Is there any
anything.
of the tall trees?
Make a perception check.
$18?
Looking around, Michaelmas does see a tree which appears to be a little bit taller than the rest. Appears to be this one right here.
Anyone interested in scampering up?
Sure. Well,
Sure, I'll do it. I don't want Corvus to do it. Go around the bone pit. Go to the tree.
Okay, Ash, make an athletics check.
Nice.
Ash, with not too much problem, begins climbing up this tree. Every so often, he hears a soft poof, and Dash appears right next to him on a branch, sitting there with his tongue out of his mouth, panting at Ash, wondering what his owner is doing. But after a few minutes, Ash is eventually able to climb up towards the top of the tree. Make a perception check, Ash. As you look out over the other treetops on this island, you do not see any temples or other structures. However, looking out, you do see a few gaps in the trees, which appear to be makeshift paths and trails formed by whatever creatures live on this island.
Are those to like the west still, where we saw the trails earlier?
There are some to the west. There are also some to the east.
I wonder if the trails and the creatures are our best bets here.
Might be.
Or wasn't the legend that the axe got thrown into? What if it's in the middle of this, where the river ends, right here?
The
Yeah,
bottom
that
of
was
the
gonna
lake.
be me too. Since we've got water breathing, I'll like walk into the lake and see what I see.
Oh man.
Oh boy.
Make an
Careful.
investigation check, Michaelmas.
If I go right here, can I get him in my aura?
12?
As Michaelmas walks down straight underwater, looking around, there does not appear to be much on the bottom of the lake. You do see some seaweed and other aquatic plants which have started growing, but you do not find anything else of note. Taking some more time, it'll take about an hour for you to search the entire lake, if that's what you would like to do.
So I'll come back out, tell them what I saw. Do we want to spend an hour here, or do we want to try another approach?
I mean, I think we go check out those trails. It's like really the only lead we have.
Okay.
I'd rather not spend an hour underwater, even if I can breathe it, you know? So maybe we'll keep this as an idea to come back to.
Do we plan?
Yeah.
Not quite see.
There you go.
I vote for the trails. Even if it doesn't lead us to what we're looking for, at least we might get to kill something.
Have
Can't
you been
argue with
bored,
that.
Corvus?
A little bit.
Hmm. Maybe we should make some extra noise while we're going through the underbrush.
That's not a bad
See?
idea.
Let's see if we can find something for Corvus to kill.
So, which half of the island are you going to check out first? The west side or the east side?
I think we go west.
Sure.
Sure.
On the same marching order as before?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
So the party heads off west and is able to quickly find one of the game trails. And as they're moving up, let's have everyone make a perception check.
Oops. Turn disadvantage off. Oh, Ash.
Ash is a little distracted because Dash still has a bone in his mouth which he took for the road. He's making a lot of noise and isn't paying a lot of attention to what's around him. And with that distraction, Ash and Michaelmas are not able to see much. However, as the rest of the party is walking through, Corvus, you have a strange feeling. You do not see anything around you. You just have this sixth sense that you're being watched.
I'm gonna tell everyone to wait for a second, and then have another look around, listen, smell.
Alright, Corvus, make
Uh,
another perception
he's-
check.
Before he does that, do I have time to touch him and give him a guidance blessing?
Yes, you do.
So you've got 1d4 on your roll.
So 24 on perception.
So looking around, Corvus, you think you see a small red flash in some of the trees and brush over in this direction. But it quickly goes away. You didn't get a lot of detail about what exactly it was. We think it might have been a red eye
Which direction did you say?
over in this direction.
Got it.
So kind of behind us? Like, do you see anything?
Oh yeah. I'll say I saw something. I don't know what it was, but it was to the southwest. Or I'll just say it was in that direction and point in that direction.
You think it's following us?
It's definitely watching us.
Can I try seeing it again now that Corvus has given me a specific like direction to look in?
Yeah, make a perception check, Ori. Looking in that direction, you do not see anything, although you do hear a twig snap over in this direction. Oh wait, I think I'm on the wrong layer. Over in this direction.
That direction. And we're kind of heading like this way.
At the moment, the path curved around a lot of the larger trees, so you came up in this direction.
Oh, I
path,
see.
Yeah, the path appears to have split up in two directions. Left and right.
Maybe we should head east.
I don't like being watched, and I definitely don't like being followed. I want to walk this direction.
Okay.
All right.
Does the rest of
All
the party
right.
follow Corvus?
Yeah,
Yep.
lead the way.
So what's the new marching order with Corvus leading the way then?
I'll wait longer. I'll be very behind, and I'll see if I noticed anything as the rest of the party takes off.
I'll trail behind Mari, not so much next to her, I think.
Okay. Well, I don't want to get like too split up.
Well, I mean, I'm still staying close to you, but I'm a step behind, not like side by side.
So
Ori does not also want to be left with Mickey as her only backup. Sorry, Mickey, but
I'll stay about 60 feet behind so that I can run. I can do my normal movement and be within about 30 feet of Ori.
So as the rest of the party begins moving down the trail, letting Michaelmas lead back behind, the party suddenly sees the source of the red eye that Corvus saw, because bursting out of the trees and underbrush, the party sees a gray-scaled serpentine-like serpentine-like creature with large red eyes and sharp teeth burst out of the undergrowth, followed by a second, and third, and fourth, and fifth.
what? No!
And as all 5 serpents continue bounding out towards Corvus, the party realizes that it is not 5 serpents, but 5 heads attached to the same monstrous body.
Ooh.
So, everyone needs to roll for initiative.
This may have been a bad idea.
Well, careful what you wish for. Baby!
A classic initiative roll.
Do you ever get anything higher than 10, Mari?
Oh,
No.
sorry.
No, I do not.
It's hard to be dexterous in heavy armor.
I just do the cleanup work.
But even with a +0, always single digits is rough.
Yeah.
Okay, first to go is Michaelmas. Staying back allowed him a better vantage point to see the Hydra coming.
So I'll run up to there, and I will cast Bless on our marshals.
Thank you.
Ah, I love bless.
And I'll point at the Hydra, and the only one who can make a weapon attack is Ash, so I'll say, kill it!
Alright. I'll shoot my bow at it. 13 plus d4. 17 to hit?
17 hits.
Alright. For 11 piercing.
You get... Oh, you not get sneak attack because no one's next to it yet.
No.
So, thanks to the blessing received from Michaelmas, Ash is able to fire off a quick arrow, hitting one of the heads in the neck. Any bonus actions for you, Michaelmas?
Nope.
That will take us to Ori.
Wait.
Huh?
Can I redo this? I will have cast Bless, which is an enchantment, with my bonus action, and then with my action I'll call down Sacred Flame on them. With that or
Sure,
not?
I'll let you this time. Just be more
Okay.
aware of that if you want to do that in the future.
Yep.
And that's a dex save.
I think it's a dex save, yeah.
Yeah.
That is a failure.
Takes 13 radiant damage.
So, the head, which got hit by the arrow, reels back right into the falling radiant flames produced by Michaelmas.
Nice.
And with that, we now go to Ori.
And do we know anything special about this guy and how it works and
You can try to make a nature check as an action on your next turn to see if you
Okay.
know anything about Hydras.
Yeah, I think Ori's kind of like glancing between, excuse me, just glancing between the heads, like, and then she casts Mind Sliver on the one that's closest to her. Great. And then she's going to quicken cast, and it's been so long since she got to play with fire. She just gotta cast Fireball.
nice.
Nice.
And even with... Didn't even need the minus d4 of the Mind Sliver. So right after one of the heads reels back with a weird hissing shriek from Ori's Mind Sliver, there's suddenly a small bead of fire gets sent straight onto the ground right in front of this five-headed creature, which suddenly explodes into flames as some of the leaves and branches up above the creature are now caught on fire. As it appears, this Hydra took the brunt of that fireball. And with that explosion, it appears that one of the heads got burned off from the Hydra.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yay!
Nice work.
Haha.
Any movement, Ori?
I'll stay where I am.
Okay, Ash.
Alright. Just gonna sidestep a couple feet over here. I'm gonna bonus action cast Hunter's Mark on the Hydra. And then I'm gonna try to attack it with sharpshooter feat. 14?
14 misses, unfortunately.
Okay. And then I will attack it again. Sharpshooter again.
Yes.
That'll hit.
I think a 23 will hit.
Yes, that will hit.
And then Hunter's Mark and Colossus Slayer. So 29 damage total.
After getting hit by the first arrow from Ash, one of the heads followed the ranger as he tried to flank around it. So while it was able to duck and avoid the first arrow, the second arrow hit it right underneath its head. Very well-aimed, accurate shot. And with that, that second head falls.
Dang.
Making
This
quick
thing's a
work of
real
this time.
pushover.
And that's it for me.
That will take us to Corvus.
I will use my bonus action to enter my rage. I'm gonna run right in front of it and start a swinging with reckless attack. (25 to hit).
25
Good.
will hit.
So 12 slashing and 3 radiant, and I will make a second attack. 21 to hit
21 also hits.
for 18 slashing. And I'm going to stay right where I'm at.
So not only is this creature now bloodied, but with 2 strikes of his magically enchanted glaive, Corvus is able to cut off a 3rd head. So now this creature only has 2 left. The 2 remaining heads will look down towards the creature right in front of it. They'll both make bite attacks against Corvus. First
Yeah,
one will hit
bring
for
it on.
13 piercing damage. And the second one hits for 10 points of piercing damage. As both heads reach down and take bites out of Corvus's shoulders, trying to lift him up off the ground. But Corvus is able to shrug himself out, although the teeth do rip out at him, causing a lot of pain. Although the damage is halved because you are raging. With that, we now go to Mari.
I'm going to run up and try and hit.
Yeah.
That's a
Yes!
crit.
Yeah, here we go. Big
Go
time.
ahead, divine smite at the 2nd level.
Get him.
68.
R, wait, slash R or R slash?
Yep, /R.
Those are nice rolls.
Yes.
49.
So that's my first attack.
With your first strike, one of the heads of the Hydra turns down towards Mari, and as it hisses down at her, not being intimidated at all, the head suddenly explodes in a bright divine explosion from the divine smite of Mari.
Ooh.
Yeah. 23 to hit for another 10. And then, I mean, I might as well divine smite again.
The last head of the Hydra is now looking around in fear as it lets out a shriek of pain, as it looks like it's trying to make a run for it. All the other heads lying down on the ground, forcing the last head to drag them behind. Anything else for you, Mari?
That's it.
Okay, Michaelmas.
I will bonus action. I think it's a bonus action. I didn't pick that up either. Never mind. I'll call as a regular spell. I'll call down taking flames on the head again.
The last head keeping an eye out around it, looking out for any magical tricks the party is expecting. It is able to dodge and avoid your sacred flame.
Okay, that'll be it.
That'll take us to Ori.
I'm just gonna mind sliver again.
That is another failure. So as the last head shrieks, as blood slowly drips out of its eyes, as it's looking very close to dying, it takes more psychic damage.
That'll be it for Ori.
That will take us to Ash.
Alright. My aim is true. I'm just gonna shoot right at the head. $18.
If that hits,
Alright. And Colossus Slayer and Hunter's Mark and Sneak Attack.
how would Ash
20
like to
there.
do this?
Just right through the glowing red eye. Just the arrow right through it.
Ash reaches back to his quiver, and as he pulls back the arrow, he times it perfectly, so right as the head of the Hydra turns around towards him, the arrow goes straight through the creature's eye, and as the last head falls down on the ground, the forest falls silent.
Ori will put out any lingering fires from her fireball with prestidigitation.
While Ori is on fire patrol, what is the rest of the party doing?
I wanna check out the body. If there's anything useful.
Make a survival
Okay.
check, Ash.
I'll give our guidance.
That's a D4.
Yeah.
15.
So looking at it, it appears that some of the skin could be salvageable to turn into leather, although there's not. Although you probably need to get it to. You need to do so very quickly, as it appears the party did quite a number on this creature. None of the fangs appear to be salvageable.
I'll just skip it. We're on a time crunch today, so.
Michaelmas, if you like, you can try to make a nature check to see if you recognize this creature.
Okay. Nature under N. 18.
So looking at it, you do quickly realize that this is a fabled creature known as a Hydra, which is very dangerous because if you cut off a head, two more replace it. At least that's what the legend said, although the creature was not able to grow back any heads.
I really like how you've exploded that one head, Mari. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was kind of fun.
Hard to grow back when you explode it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
That was a nice
go
hit,
back
and I'll
here.
punch her in the shoulder.
Mari blushes a little.
So Ash, while you're digging there, why don't you take out its heart, just in case it could grow back?
Sure.
It takes a few minutes trying to locate the creature, because it is a rather large creature, but eventually Ash is able to find and extricate the heart.
And
Although
does
it is very bloody, and you'll probably need something to store the heart in.
Why don't we just I don't want to take it. Let's burn it. Does anybody have a fire cantrip? Otherwise, I'll take out a torch and oil.
I mean,
I don't
can
know
we
if I can.
burn a wet heart like that? It's pretty gushy.
With a strong enough flame, it'll probably be doable.
But if you don't want to take it, Ash, and I don't see any reason why we would want to, I'll just put a big stake through it like a vampire.
There you go.
That seems scientific.
Michaelmas finds the perfect stick on the ground. With a loud squish, stabs the heart with his makeshift wooden stake, putting Michaelmas at ease. The rest of the party, maybe not as much.
Does this look like it was the one that was making the trail, or are there other kinds of big critters?
Make a survival check.
12.
It's certainly possible it's certainly possible for other creatures to have made the wide trails, but it is big enough. It's possible it was the only one. You're not quite sure.
Oria is gonna poke at the heart a little bit, and then precipitate everyone clean from the blood.
Thank you. And I'll take out my rock and mending on my robes for anything that Dash has done recently, or the jungle has done, or make myself presentable.
For the next monster that tries to kill us?
Should we soldier
Yes.
Yeah. So we keep moving.
Alright.
As the party continues making their way through this half of the island, in order to make sure you cover the entire ground, it'll take you a couple more hours. But as you're walking through, it appears don't appear to be any other creatures you found on this half of the island. Ash, make a nature check. Ash, you think it might be possible the Hydra just scared away any of the other creatures in this part of the forest, but you're not certain of it. There might be something that happened to the other creatures.
Okay. Like it might have killed all of them, that put its bones in a pit.
Did the little raptor's head look a lot like this big lizard head, only smaller?
No, it did not. The raptor looked more reptilian. This creature, it looked a lot more monstrous, not necessarily reptilian.
Okay.
And after a couple hours of not finding too much else, the party eventually makes their way back towards the mouth of the river, where it appears the crew of the Owl Runner has been loading up crates of fruit they foraged onto a longboat and making runs over onto the ship. Ham will wave to the party and yell, "How's it going? Find what you've been looking for?"
Not exactly.
Or just shakes her head sadly and slowly. I suppose we should press on to the other half of the island, though.
Alright, well, if you need us, we'll be around here.
Toss me one of those pieces of fruit. I'm hungry.
Sure. Ham throws a banana right at Ash's head. As Ash grabs it, it appears to still be green, not actually ripe enough to eat.
Oh well, I'll put it in my bag.
Save it for later.
As the party continues over, on crossing through the river onto the other side, the party notices a large footprint in the sand right over here. Ash, make a survival check.
Wow.
At 20.
Looking at the footprint, this indeed is a very large and somewhat alarming print, as it appears to be 3 feet long and almost 2 feet wide. The foot itself only has 3 toes, but each toe appears to have a large, sharp claw on the front of it. Looking at it, it appears to be for a huge-sized creature, possibly even larger than the Hydra.
So this kind of foot was not the kind of foot that the Hydra has. How many feet did the Hydra have?
The Hydra had 4, and their feet were a lot more round with shorter and stubbier toes. On this footprint you just found, it definitely had longer toes.
Does it look like reptilian, kind of?
It looks somewhat reptilian, yes.
And it's just the one footprint?
Yes, you only find one.
Hmm.
Although looking over, it appears to be heading in the direction of another path between the trees, right over in this direction.
Think
How
we
much
gotta
time
follow
left?
it.
How much time do we have left before we have to leave?
By this point, you have about, let's say, around 5 hours.
I think we gotta follow it. I mean, if there is an axe of Daemo here, you would think that creatures would be drawn to its power.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, we're not doing anything else.
Yeah, let's check it out.
As the party heads off over towards the eastern part of the island, Ori, you do notice it appears the captain has not actually said anything so far today. At least not that you've noticed.
Okay.
With that lingering in Ori's mind, we are going to take a 5-minute break. What is the marching order as the party continues this way? Just what we have currently?
I'm fine with this.
Let's go.
The party heads south along the eastern half of Isla Koryu. As they're walking down the path, as it slowly winds through the trees, and as the party is walking, let's have everyone make a perception check.
Ugh.
Ori does not notice it, but the rest of the party hears the sound of what appears to be something eating something up ahead.
Can I do a divine sense before we get too close?
Sure. As Mori focuses once again and uses divine sense, you do not sense anything you do not sense any celestials or any other beings with your divine sense.
I'm gonna cast Pass Without Trace on us, so we can kind of sneak up on this thing,
Okay,
or at least see what it is.
Okay, let's have everyone make stealth checks then.
Love that for us.
That's plus 10 for
Yikes.
everybody.
15.
It's plus 10.
Yeah, 15. I'm at disadvantage.
Oh, right.
So as the party slowly makes their way around the next corner in the path, they see up ahead half a dozen of the small raptor creatures they saw before. They all appear to be eating the dead corpse of a 4-legged strange beast that had a wide, bony frill and 3 horns on its head, 2 coming up from its brow and a 3rd coming up from its nose.
It's a tricorn.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Can we,
get closer.
can we tell if they took it down or like
I'm guessing
they're
these
just
were just scavengers.
vultures? Yeah.
Make a perception check, Mari.
That makes me real scared of these little things. Yeah, 5.
You're a little far away to really get too much detail about what happened, Mari, but as Ash very bravely sneaks up even closer to the things, all of them appear to be completely distracted from him until suddenly the party hears 2 beastly roars off in the distance as all 6 of the raptors stop and look over in this general direction. All of them suddenly start fleeing and running away into the trees.
Great.
It's at that point the party feels the ground start to rumble until suddenly they see bursting through the trees 2 of this similar tri-horned beasts come barreling through the trees. And as they stop and see their dead child on the path, they turn their eyes towards the closest creature next to it and start charging towards Ash. So, let's have everyone roll for initiative again.
I can't believe you killed a baby, Ash.
I mean, I didn't do it. Promise it wasn't me.
Yeah, always just gotta get up in there. Didn't get the lowest initiative this time.
I'm still ahead of both Mari and Corvus.
And one of the Triceratops.
First to go is Ash, as he sees the 2 creatures barreling down towards him.
Okay, I'm going to... I don't know if I want to actually attack or just run away.
We can run.
Yeah. I don't know how far we'd get. Yeah, let's just attack. I'm gonna sneak over a little bit over here. Maybe they won't charge their dead baby's body. I don't know. And then I'm gonna bonus action cast Hunter's Mark on the bottom one. And then I'm just gonna try to shoot it. My longbow. 27 to hit.
That will hit.
Alright, so Hunter's Mark. So it does 17 damage. Then I will shoot at it again. 23 to hit.
That also hits.
And then Hunter's Mark and Colossus Slayer for 18 more.
I feel bad.
Ash takes a few steps back while firing off 2 arrows at one of them, avoiding the bony frill and going right past into the front legs of the creature for 2 good hits. Anything else for your turn?
Nope, I think that's it.
I mean, if we run, I could potentially cast darkness behind us to cover our escape route. That might throw him off enough.
And we still have Pass Without Trace on, too. But...
That's not a concentration, or...
Oh, I guess we don't now. Never mind, because I switched to Hunter's Mark, so never mind.
Next up is Ori.
Do I have like enough line of sight on them through the trees right where I am?
I'd say you have line of sight on the top one, but not the other one.
Well, I can't hit it anyway, so she'll move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Now you have line of sight on both.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I can only reach this one, so I'm gonna cast Mind Sliver on blue.
It appears this creature is not the most intelligent of sorts, and fails a save, fails to resist against the Mind Sliver.
That's all.
The first of the Trihorns, or was it Tricorn?
That's
that
what I
what we
called
called
it, yeah, tricorn.
The first of the Tricorn will charge 50 feet right towards Ash.
Oof.
And will make a gore attack with its
Hey.
horns.
Oh! Wow.
Unfortunately, after it charged, it appeared to partially slip in some mud that was right next to Ash and misses its attack. So that will take us to Michaelmas.
I will run 25 feet to here, and both Ash and Corvus should still be within 30 feet of me, so I will, I'll bless our marshals again, and tell Ash, it's right there! Kill it!
Alright. This time I'm going to try to stabby stab it.
You don't have your rapier out though.
Oh,
so you have
right.
your bow out.
So can I shoot it with, like, disadvantage?
Yeah, you can shoot with disadvantage.
I'll try to shoot it.
Wow.
22 to hit.
That will hit.
So that's... Oh, never mind. I don't get Colossus Lair. I get Hunter's Mark, though. So, 16.
I knew you could do it. I'm not approvingly.
This creature lets out another loud roar of anger towards Ash. It still seems to be putting the blame on the ranger. Anything else for you, Michaelmas?
Nope, I screwed up again, so...
I'll take a Samari.
So I'm gonna run up my 30 feet. I really feel bad that we're not just running away from these, but I assume we're just gonna attack. I'm trying to decide if I'll dash or if I'm gonna Misty Step the rest of the way. Bonus action Misty Step. Here, actually, so that you're in my aura just in case, and then I will attack. $17 to hit.
17 hits.
For 8 slashing. And then I might as well divine smite for another 7. And then I will attack again. 17 to hit again for another 8.
When Ash hears the teleportation poof next to him, he expects to see Dash, but instead sees Mari lashing out another divine smite at this creature who is now in pain and bloodied.
And that's it.
That will take us to Corvus.
I will enter my rage again. Well, let me measure this out real quick. I've got 40 feet of movement and 10-foot weapon. can reach him. Move there, enter my rage, and make 2 reckless attacks on it.
Corvus barrels down the path, and reaching out as far as he can, he's just able to hit the tricorn.
19.
19 hits.
10 slashing and 7 radiant, and I will make my second attack. Another 19 for 16 slashing.
Despite being so badly injured, the beast right in front of you is still letting out roars, not willing to back down from this fight. The next creature is going to barrel forward and make an attack on the closest one to it, which is Corvus. Unfortunately for it, Corvus sees it running up and is able to avoid the horns before they gore into his side.
Is he within 5 feet of me? The blue one?
He is.
Can I use my sentinel to make an attack?
You can use Sentinel.
10 to hit?
10 unfortunately does not hit. Mari was a little concerned by just how far these creatures can run with their 50-foot movement speed. And after Mari misses with her attack, Ori and Michaelmas notice a little poof next to them as Dash blinks forward and yells at the large creatures from the back. That'll take us back to Ash.
Alright. Now I'm going to pull out my rapier, and I'm going to attack the red one in front of me. Oops. Should have just been regular. So 22 to hit.
That will hit.
Alright, and then it gets Hunter's Mark, and Colossus Slayer, and Sneak Attack for 14 damage.
With one quick swipe of his rapier, Ash is able to pierce the neck of the creature as it lets out one final wobble of pain before it falls down on the ground.
Oh.
Okay, and then I'm gonna sneak around in between Mari and Corvus. I'm gonna use my bonus action to move Hunter's Mark to the blue one, and then I'm going to stab it with my rapier again. I don't think this is gonna do it. 11!
11 unfortunately misses. Having to run around Mari, you weren't able to quite get to it in time. And with that, we now go to Ori.
I'm just gonna cast Mind Sliver on blue again, and it technically gets minus 1d4, but I don't think it can beat my save, even if it nat 20, but...
No, it cannot, because it has an intelligence of 2.
Yeah.
Oh.
So this beast, having just seen its mate fall, lets out a crying wallow of pain as its mind gets attacked by Ori's Mind Sliver.
Jeez.
Mari hates this so much.
Yeah, at least when I killed the mouse, it was instantaneous and, like, painless.
We're gonna cause
Slaughtering my
extinction on this
family.
island.
Jeez.
Anything else, Ori?
No.
That will take us to Michaelmas.
I'll call down my Sacred Flames. And it's minus 1d4 I'd save, right? Dex? Because of the Mind Sliver?
Yes, with a minus d4, it will fail your save. So as this cry continues, as the radiant flames fall down right on top of the large target.
That's it.
That will take us to Mari.
I'll try and hit it.
Of course.
Oh, I hate this.
You could make it non-lethal damage.
Well, like, it's not gonna kill us now after it thinks we killed its baby and we already killed its mate. I guess I'll divine smite at a first level.
Okay, so that's an extra 4d8.
4. Yeah.
Oh.
Was that 37 damage? I hate this. And then I guess I will hit it again. For another 7. And then I'm gonna bonus action use my channel divinity to get a spell slot back.
Okay. The creature is now bloodied and looks like it's about to turn around to try to run away from its attackers. That'll take us to Corvus.
I will make 2 reckless attacks on it. For 15 slashing and 3 radiant. And another one. Does 18 hit?
18 hits.
For another 17 slashing.
Right as it turns around, Corvus is able to get in 2 quick strikes against one of its back legs. The creature is then going to try to run away.
Oh.
Okay.
Do people take opportunity attacks or no?
No.
Yes.
No, I was,
That's a hit, Corvus.
For another 13 slashing.
Fortunately for everyone else but Corvus, the creature lets out one final yell of pain as it limps off, barreling through the path. It moves and dashes 100 feet down the path.
Sorry.
I should have tried to just scare him away with a fireball or something in front of him.
they were gonna mow us down like a diesel-powered combine. Like,
Only because
what?
They thought you killed
What's
their
that,
baby.
Ash?
it's a saying I heard once. I don't know what it means.
Sounds dangerous.
So
I mean,
does this
they
creature
thought
have
we
to
killed
take-
their baby. They were gonna do everything to stop us.
Yeah.
Does this look like the source of the big footprints that we saw earlier, or is there
No.
something else big?
Looking at his
going
feet,
on?
Guessing-
this is not the source of the footprints that you saw earlier.
These definitely don't have talon toes.
Let's have
Yeah.
everyone make a nature check if they'd like to try to identify this tricorn.
No thanks.
He's rolling crits left and right.
Dang,
So-
Mari.
So, Mari, looking at this creature, remembers hearing stories about these great beasts that roamed Prada before people came to the plane. Beasts called dinosaurs. And while you've only seen skeletons, you don't really know what dinosaurs look like. But if you had to picture one, this looks a lot like what you'd picture a dinosaur to be like.
Well,
Well, that feels awful.
yeah.
Should we keep going?
I mean, if we turn back now, it'll all be in vain.
Yeah.
How are we doing on time?
But now you have, let's say, 4 hours before you need to start heading back.
So if we don't find it in the next 2 hours, we would need an hour to search in the lake. So that's... We don't have a lot of time.
Yeah, let's look. Yeah, I would even say, like, let's look for an hour and then try the lake. And then. Captain Valhal will leave us behind.
Yeah.
So.
I don't think it's gonna be in the lake though.
Okay.
Well, let's keep going. Anyways, I guess.
We could split up and have 2 people go check the lake.
I don't think with
know.
dinosaurs running around, that's a great idea.
Oh, also,
we know there's
We
a
can
huge
split up and I
creature.
can just go check the lake.
Also, Ash, thing to note, dinosaurs are technically beasts, and this is a large enough beast, so if you could take something from the dinosaur's corpse to use for that magic item you asked me about.
Oh. Sure. Yeah. Can I try to do that?
You're gonna cut the horn off the poor baby.
I'll try to give guidance.
Yeah, make a survival check.
$24.
Thanks to the keen guidance of Michaelmas, you were able to cut off one of the large horns on this creature.
Ooh, fun. Hey, Ori, can you store this in your bag of holding for me?
Yeah, sure. It's just one horn?
Yes, one horn.
Alright.
Does the party want the same marching order as before?
Yeah.
Oh, Mari.
I think same marching order is fine.
Yeah.
Or he's gonna offer Mari a hug and be like, you know, I'm really glad I got you out here to protect me.
Mari gladly accepts. I do not feel good about that.
No.
After the comforting hug, the party continues passing through the trail by at least one other huge beast on this island. After about 30 minutes, the party feels the ground slowly shake. As it slowly shakes more, it appears to be caused by footprints. By
Footsteps?
something that is approaching. So, what does the party do?
Can we hide?
Yeah. I hide behind a tree.
Is there very much shadow beneath the trees?
With how high the treetops are, there is quite a bit of shadow.
I mean, so like, if I cast darkness and we hid in the darkness, which is kind of dangerous because we wouldn't be able to see out of it unless we poked our heads out. Would that? I mean, I know it's like total darkness versus shadow, but maybe it would blend in, all right? That's Rory's only idea for hiding.
It is up to you. The creature is moving closer.
Whatever you think. Otherwise, I think we just try and like get off the path and hide.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't know what I
I just want to like duck behind a tree.
Yeah, we'll definitely hide. Like
Let's
in the off the path.
Let's have everyone make stealth checks.
This is gonna be awful. Apologies in advance.
Oh, woof. Well, Mickey and I already mucked it up, so.
Good job, Dash.
Now, Corvus, where are you hiding in the tree line?
Right there.
I'm shocked Corvus is hiding.
With the party quickly moving behind the first trees they see, they feel the ground shake more and more with a loud thump, thump, thump. And they see, slowly walking up the path, is a huge dinosaur, shaped similarly to the raptors you saw before, but this one stands over 12 feet tall and is at least 40 feet long from the front of its snout to the tip of its tail. Its two small vestigial arms and its large feet both have large, sharp claws. What's most alarming are the sharp teeth in its giant maw. The teeth themselves are almost a foot long. As it slowly moves up, it suddenly stops. Looking around, sniffing, it then turns its head over in the direction of the party. So, let's have everyone roll for initiative again.
Worth a shot.
Yeah.
I think I'll feel less guilty about killing this thing, though. Oh, hey!
Look at
Look at
you.
me.
Uh-oh.
Oh, jeez.
Michaelmas? Alright.
If you could just kill this thing in one shot, Ash, or two shots even.
Yeah, could you just take it out for us? We have a lot to do.
First to react is the very alert ranger, Ash.
Alright. I'm going to... I mean, he knows we're here.
Seems so.
I'm just gonna move a little bit further back over here. I'm going to cast Hunter's Mark on the giant beast. And then I'm going to try to take a shot with my sharpshooter feat. 14.
14 hits.
Okay.
Okay. So that'll be 19 plus the Hunter's Mark. So 25. And then I will try to hit it again with sharpshooter. And that's not going to do it.
9 unfortunately misses. While the first arrow is able to pierce its thick, leathery skin, the second one bounced off.
And that'll be it for me.
The large dinosaur, seeing Ash run out and fire 2 arrows at it, is going to barrel down towards the ranger. He is going to bend down and try to bite Ash.
Oh, jeez.
Ouch!
It will hit for
Oh,
22 points of piercing damage.
Oh, jeez.
And as half of Ash disappears into the mouth of the dinosaur, it lifts Ash up as Ash is now grappled in the mouth of this beast.
Oh, no.
So that will take us to Mari.
Cool. So I'm gonna run up here. Could I try and like pull Ash out?
Yes, you can. Make an athletics check.
Not gonna do it.
Unfortunately, you try and pull Ash out, but the dinosaur is not letting go of Ash.
Very cool. Very cool indeed. I'm trying to decide. I'm gonna bonus action cast Shield of Faith on Ash, just to help him a little bit. It just gives him a +2 AC, so that hopefully next time he bites down on you, maybe that helps a little.
Ash
Hopefully he
sees
rolls
a
lower than 22.
Ash sees a light blue flash as he feels slightly more protected thanks to the Shield of Faith, but still very concerned that he's in the mouth of this giant T-Rex.
Doesn't do much, but
That will take us to Ori.
Hey, Ori's gonna quicken to cast Mind Sliver
This creature is also not too intelligent, so that is a failure.
And then cast Flaming Sphere at 2nd level. Oh, come on.
Ooh.
Minus 1d4.
Yep.
Ah! Well, Flaming Spear's up now. And Ori's gonna take a couple steps back.
Or I'll let you move the sphere where you'd like.
Yeah, I'll just say it was cast there.
So, while the giant dinosaur let out a grunt of pain from the mind sliver, it was able to move its tail out of the way just in time to avoid the flaming sphere. Well, it takes half damage though, right?
Oh, yeah, half damage.
With that, we go to the Cleric Michaelmas.
Can I reach? Okay. As an action, can I reach a dash or Ash in the big guy's mouth if I come close to them?
Yes, you can.
Or is he too far up? Okay.
You can. You multiply your height by 1.5 to see how high you can reach. So, but yes, you will be able to grab Ash's legs.
Okay. So I will come in there as a bonus action because it's an enchantment. I'll cast Bless on our marshals again. And then as an action, I will reach up and touch Ash and cast Guidance on him.
Guidance is also a concentration spell.
Oh! Nuts. Yeah, then I won't do that. I will then, as my bonus action, I'll cast, or as my regular action, I'll cast Sacred Flame. I thought I had it, but darn.
Once again, the T-Rex is able to whip its tail out of the way just in time to avoid more fire that's trying to surround it.
So sorry, did you bless or guidance?
I blessed, sorry.
Okay.
And I'll say, Mari, can you take it down?
Let's see what we can do. No.
Ooh.
You are blessed, though. 14 will hit.
14? Perfect,
Yay!
so 10 damage.
Feeling blessed by Michaelmas, Mari is able to get in a quick strike against the creature, which will then take us to Corvus.
I'm going to enter my rage as a bonus action. I'm going to move up. And I'm going to make 2 reckless attacks using my Great Weapon Master feat. And try and put a big hurt on it.
Yeah!
Oh, here we go.
Holy smokes.
33. That's 43 damage.
Love to see it.
33 slashing and 10 radiant damage. And I'll do the same thing with the second one. Does
That one
19
will also
hit?
hit. Yep.
Another 21 slashing.
Corvus, loving the challenge of a big threat, grins as he runs up, letting out a war cry as he lashes out 2 painful strikes against the T-Rex. We now go to the Ranger in the T-Rex's mouth, Ash.
Okay. Alright. I'm gonna retroactively make a con saving throw for concentration on Hunter's Mark from last turn. So I passed that. I'm just gonna try to get out of the grapple. So that's acrobatics.
Yeah, acrobatics or athletics, your choice.
Acrobatics it is. And I will add the D4 to that.
Actually, I didn't
Like,
cast
oh,
the
you
guidance.
didn't do that. Never
I
mind.
did cast the guidance.
Yep.
Yeah, plus his
Yep.
attack rolls and saving throws.
Okay, so 13.
So unfortunately, 13 is not enough to get out of the mouth of the T-Rex. You still have your bonus action if you have anything you like to do.
Yeah, there's not really much I can do with that because I want to keep Hunter's Mark going. So I guess I'll just hang out in the mouth then.
The T-Rex is going to make the bite attack against Ash with advantage because you are restrained in his mouth. She'll hit you for another 20 points of piercing damage.
And I am down.
Oh, jeez.
As Ash
Not
falls
bad.
unconscious in the mouth of this creature, it's going to whip its tail around and try to hit Corvus.
And you attack with advantage.
Ugh.
She'll hit for 19 bludgeoning damage as the tail barrels right into the chest of Corvus, almost knocking him back. That'll then take us to Mari.
Wait, do I have my reaction again? Is this a new round? Can I use Sentinel?
Not yet. You get it back at the start of your turn.
Turn. Okay, perfect. I'm gonna try and I think I have to pull Ash out because if you're in there much longer and he bites you. So is that an athletics check?
Yeah,
or-
athletics check.
Come on, baby. 25.
25
Nice.
is enough. Mari is finally able to pull the unconscious Ash out of the mouth of the T-Rex.
Cool. Can I kind of like throw him behind me a little? Like,
Chuck him.
well, I just want to like get
No,
like
I know.
I don't want him to be just right there. Like, I know the dinosaur can still get him real fast, but
I'm gonna say no on that,
Okay.
since pulling someone out isn't really a...
that's fair.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no on this.
That's fair. Don't have a good bonus action, so that was my action, and I'm not gonna move.
That'll take us to the member of the party staying back, Ori.
Yeah, I'm gonna, with my action, cast Magic Missile. And as my bonus action, I am going to ram it with the
He's coming up next.
Flaming Sphere.
Does it take damage at the beginning of its turn or the end of its turn when it's in the fire?
Oh, right. Ends its turn within 5 feet.
Oh, so then roll damage again on Flaming Sphere. Because it should have taken damage at the end of its turn because it did not move.
Did I not get a 1 on one of the... Ugh. I think I rolled 3 every time. Jeez.
Fortunately for Ori, while the damage is not very great, it's still unable to avoid the Flaming Sphere these last couple of times. It still takes some fire damage. It is bloodied thanks to the large attacks from Corvus. As it's still looking around, eyeing up all of you, it lets out a fierce cry, not backing down from this fight. Would you like to move at all for your turn?
That'll be all for Ori.
Alright, Michaelmas.
Okay. So I'll cast Aid on Ash and Corvus and Ori. I think they're the ones that are most susceptible at this point for
Thank you.
bad things. And Ash, did you have your rapier out or not?
I'm prone on the ground, unconscious. Well, now I'm coming out of unconsciousness, And
Yeah.
no, I didn't have my rapier out.
Okay, then I'll have Corvus. Since he was doing such a good job of hacking it to Tyrannosaurus steaks, he's like, make some more.
That will hit.
For 16 slashing.
Another 16 slashing as the T-Rex's war cry turns into a cry of pain from yet another strike from Corvus.
And I'm done.
Now go to Corvus again.
I'm gonna do the same thing as last time. I'm trying to bring this thing down. Reckless attack with Great Weapon Master.
Fortunately,
Ooh.
12 does not hit. Oh wait, you
Did
are
I get-
blessed.
I am blessed. Okay, I'm gonna
Yeah.
try and. 16?
That will hit.
19 slashing and 5 radiant. I'll do the same thing for the second attack. I'm gonna use that bless again.
Oof.
13?
13 just hits.
Woo!
Oh, no way.
Yes, it's a T-Rex. It's a very big target.
So then 25 slashing. And then I will use my bonus action to do the same thing. Reckless attack, Great Weapon Master. $18, right?
That will hit.
For another 18 bludgeoning damage.
How would Corvus like to do this?
Oh wow.
2 big slashes at its chest to open the rib cage up, and then whip around with the other side and bash the heart with the blunt end.
Corvus surgically opens up the chest of this T-Rex, and in a spinning move, he whips around the blunt end of his glaive, which shoves right into this mighty T-Rex, which lets out one final scream before falling down with a loud thud onto the forest floor.
Phew.
Ori wants to make sure her flaming spear isn't leaving behind any embers or, flames.
This one I don't feel bad about.
I'll,
Yeah, this one was a jerk.
I'll cure wounds at 3rd level for Ash to help him get up a little bit.
And then I'll lay on hands for 10 too.
Okay, so 19 more.
Do you need a break, Ash?
I'm gonna cast Healing Spirit. I'm gonna call forth a glowing nature spirit and heal myself for 4d6.
Oh.
So for 10 more. Alright. So I'm almost back up to
Okay.
max, so I'm good.
That's good.
Uh,
Well, I guess we
yeah.
press.
Are there any trophies I can take from this fine beast?
Nothing slows you down.
There are plenty of teeth, which you could collect. It will take some time. It is quite a large creature, but if you just want to grab a couple, it shouldn't take too long.
Yeah, I just want to try to grab a couple.
Okay, make a survival check.
Corvus, how are you doing with hit points?
Nope.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Unfortunately for Ash, he isn't actually able to pull out any of the teeth from this creature. It appears this dinosaur has very strong gums, and Ash isn't actually able to knock out any of the teeth.
Good digital
Think-
plan.
You think I'd have first-hand experience of what the teeth looked like from up close?
But they gave you the willies.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Alright.
As the party continues on, let's have everyone make a perception check.
Is that your fourth crit tonight?
Crit tonight?
Good grief, Mari.
When you're on fire, you're on fire.
I guess.
No, I've been putting them out. I promise.
It's like pointing out a no-hitter in baseball. We shouldn't have said anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least we said it at the exact same time, so we can't blame anyone.
The party continues following along the different paths likely made by this T-Rex on the eastern half of the island. You eventually make your way back over towards the lake, not really finding anything else of note. But as you reach the lake, Mari and Corvus have a strange feeling that you're being followed, and as Mari looks behind her, she's just able to make out the shape of one of those small raptors that you saw before.
I think I quietly tell the group.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Not like it's trying to hunt us, is it?
I don't know.
They took down a tricorn.
Or, maybe. As a group, if it's just one of them, though.
I think if there's one, there's more.
Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
I'll go back to Ash and their dad. Yeah, Ash. I cannot get them straight today. So, Ash, do any of the things that we have seen and met and fought today, now that you've seen them, do any of those ring a bell as the kind of things that would create bone pits?
I mean, I don't think I know too much about dinosaurs, but I mean, unless this was a layer of a creature, I can't think of, any beasts that, non-intelligent beasts that have bone pits.
I think it's
Can
a
I-
little raptor things.
Prestidigitation, some sparks in the raptor's face and try to scare it off. Like, startle it.
Yes, with a quick wave of her hand, Ori magically summons large sparks right in front of where the raptor is. It then quickly scurries off away into the underbrush.
Well, I guess we're going in the lake now.
Or maybe
Yeah,
in
should
the
maybe
lake?
a couple of us go.
I think we should all go.
Watch our backs. Think?
I mean, if we have water breathing cast on us, there's nothing that's really gonna follow us in, probably, right? It's either gonna be in the water or out of the water. Unless you think there are some giant newts to be
True.
afraid of. I would rather we stick together.
Alright.
Everyone in the party walks into the lake around the same time as everyone slowly starts looking around the lake. Let's have everyone make an investigation check.
So is it kind of low light conditions?
Ah,
with
come
the-
on.
Oy, oy.
Corvus and I are just splashing around.
Dash beat me.
Corvus
Dash beat half the party.
Corvus likely gets bored after about 5 minutes of searching, hoping to find another monster or dinosaur to fight. He unfortunately doesn't actually find any, which leads him to slow down.
No, that's fortunate.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for him. However, most of the other party has a little bit better luck. It is Ash and Michaelmas, however, who find a little mound of something that seems to have been buried at some point in the middle of the lake.
What do you know? Still, we're not gonna find anything.
I
in the lake.
just didn't think we would. I try to dig at this mound?
As Ash
Or
quickly
like mud
digs
or
at
rock?
the mound, he quickly finds a skull, but not of a dinosaur, of a humanoid.
If we keep digging around it, is there any more of its body or like armor or any kind of effects or anything?
As you continue digging out around it, you do not find any armor. You're guessing if it had any clothes on it, they likely would have been gone at this point from the erosion in the lake. But looking through the skeleton, it does appear to be a full humanoid skeleton. You also find a small glass bottle with some kind of red liquid inside of it.
Well, we definitely take that.
Yeah.
Who's putting it on their sheet?
I can.
As you take a closer look at it, Maury, you realize it is a potion of greater healing. Let's have Ash and Michaelmas make medicine checks. See where the first two found the body. Michaelmas, looking at the skeleton, it appears that the sternum of the creature of this humanoid got split right in the middle of its ribcage.
I will kind of point out that injury. Maybe an axe did it.
Oh,
Is there like, Ori, do you have detect magic?
oh, duh. I think I do.
I didn't take it today.
Do I have that? Wait, maybe I don't. Oh wait, no, I do. Okay, yeah. So she's gonna cast detect magic.
After a quick flash of white light, Ori casts detect magic. As you're looking around, you do not find anything else magical next to the body.
I mean, can I like? I'm gonna like start doing like a spiral out from the body, kind of searching around. Maybe trying to drag my feet through the bottom of the lake to kick up anything I can.
Ori does the best she can, kicking and dredging up the lake as she spirals out from where the body was placed in the middle of the lake. But as you're walking around, you do not sense anything else magical.
I'm not seeing anything. I don't know.
Yeah, I think this is maybe a dead end.
Yeah. Obviously, for this person to be killed here, there either would have had to have been no water here, or they were on a boat on the water, got killed, and then sank to the bottom.
I mean, it wasn't gonna be for sure this island anyways, right?
Right.
Correct.
We got another island to check.
I want to... Either we can continue checking the lake, or I want to check out the bone pit a little bit more.
Ugh. Ori, Ori will look at the bone pit, because she's got 10 minutes of detect magic, so she'll doggy paddle out of the lake, and I don't think she really wants to dig around the bone pit, but she'll, like, look it over at least.
Let's have Ori and Michaelmas make investigation checks then for the bone pit.
I've got no problem getting in the bone pit.
Go
Corvus
for
too.
it.
Anyone else who wants to jump into the pile of bones, make investigation checks.
Nope.
Okay.
Ori, a little hesitant, doesn't go too far down. Corvus, on the other hand, is able to dig down deeper and is able to find some coin Taking a moment to look around, you're able to find a total of 20 gold pieces.
Wow. You're usurping Ash as the party metal detector.
I don't care about coin.
I'll
I
take
want
them off
that
your
axe.
hands if you don't want them.
I'll give
Save it
Ori
up for a
the 20
tattoo.
gold.
Oh, sorry, what was that?
Said he's saving up for his tattoo.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, you need gems for that, not...
Well, you know, he could buy gems with gold.
Shish!
Ori's detect magic then ends. It's been 10 minutes. And the party does not have much more time before they need to start heading back north.
Let's head back.
Yeah.
We have done what we could, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had quite the day.
Let's head back through the lake though and finish our search.
Ugh.
Alright.
Fine.
With reluctance from Ori, the party makes one more quick sweep of the lake before heading back up towards the northern shore by the mouth of the river. They do not find anything else in the lake, but as they get back over towards the northern shore, they see the crew of the Isle Runner are prepping the longboats to head back towards the large ship.
We'll say Ori's gonna prestidigitate everyone dry, but she leaves Mickey's socks like a little damp.
Nice. Thank you. Squish, squish. Ooh.
As Michaelmas's socks almost silently squish, Ham will approach the party and yell, "Hey, how'd it go?"
Bad.
We didn't have our best day.
Yeah, we didn't find what we were looking for.
But we did find dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
I mean, we killed everyone. Well, almost everyone that we found.
Trael will run up towards the party and say, wait, are you just joshing with me, or do you actually see dinosaurs?"
Ori
It's
will
not
pull the
dinosaurs.
horn out of the bag of holding and kind
I
of
don't
wave
know
it
anyone
around a
named
little
Josh.
bit. We saw a tricorn.
Try what?
Tricorn, you know, unicorn, duocorn, tricorn.
Make a persuasion check, Ori. Trail will say, "Really? What did it look like? Did it look cool? You know, I got room for another tattoo."
I'll try sketching it out on some paper when we get back to the ship for you if you want.
Wonderful. You see, I knew the dinosaurs weren't extinct. I knew that there's some that are still out there.
Oh boy.
There's 3 less today, but
Do you think they might have been... Do you think they might have, like, descended from the last Tarrasque?
maybe. What do I know?
Sure. Yeah.
Wait, what if the Tarrasque is under the island? Hearing
Well,
that,
we didn't see it.
hearing that, the captain will yell, "Trael! Enough of your myths and horror stories."
Let's get back to the ship, please. I've spent way too much time walking around under a lake.
Yeah, I'm
With
kinda
that,
over this
the
island.
crew and the party all get into the longboats and quickly row back towards the ship. With the sun just now fully setting underneath the horizon, the captain will yell to Sean, "Let's get going." And as everyone gets settled back into the ship, Ori, you hear the voice of Captain Valhal inside your head saying, "If you wouldn't mind, I'd like to chat with you."
She's in her cabin.
Looking around, you see her walk into her cabin right after saying that.
Ori will talk into her mind and be like, "That's a cool trick."
The captain will sit down and slowly take off her coat before tossing it back on the bed. She'll hold out a hand to one of the other chairs around the table.
Ori will sit.
Captain slowly pulls out the band holding up her ponytail before her long hair falls down. She didn't say anything else, she just sort of stares off.
Would you like me to brush your hair for you? My sister and I used to do that a lot, and it always feels pretty nice to have someone else do it for you.
I'd like that.
Assuming I can find a hairbrush on her desk or something, or by her bed pretty easily.
The captain will point over towards the large dresser right next to the bed. And opening up one of the drawers, you're able to find a hairbrush.
Okay. Yeah, Ori will start very gently but firmly, you know, brushing through her hair. And she'll say, I think she'll keep it like mind to mind, you know, like just quietly in their own heads and be like, you know, I died a couple months ago. There was a hag that came after our friend Emma because of, well, she's also a sorcerer like me, so the hag wanted to use her for her abilities. And I came back, but I have some hitchhikers in my head now. They're from like Limbo or whatever. I don't really get it. They're very evasive. But, you know, they're kind of there now. And we just make fun of each other every once in a while, and they make me bad breakfast in my dreams. But yeah, it's been kind of weird adjusting to that.
The captain's eyebrows raise at the first mention of a hag. But she did not say anything. She takes a moment to think. And then eventually the captain says, "How much do you know about Kalishtar?"
Well, to be honest, not a whole lot, but also to be honest, Trael was running his mouth a little bit last night and mentioned that you have, like, that Kalishtar are connected to people in the astrals who are lost in, like, the astral sea or something?
Ori catches an eye roll from the captain at the mention of Trael. Before she says, "There are... Well, I suppose you know souls travel through Limbo before reaching their final destination, but Kalishtar have a tendency to get off course, end up in the astral sea. For what reason, I don't know. A lot of them get stuck. But there are some who eventually get linked back to more Kalishtar on the material plane.
Hmm. You don't really know how?
She shakes her head.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm linked up with 2 clowns in limbo, so.
Ori suddenly hears the voice of Malum in her left ear. Jesters! I don't know how many times we have to remind you we are jesters. The captain will say, I had the unfortunate occurrence to be linked to my grandfather.
Oh. And he was a pirate?
He wasn't just a pirate. He was one of the most ruthless and wicked pirates and sailors on these waters.
Hmm.
Those jesters, or those clowns in your head,
Hmm.
what do they make you do?
They don't really make me do anything, to be honest, but you know, there's a lot of folks in my head, I guess, in a way, because I actually got my powers in the Underdark, and it's not as much of a person as just like a just like a presence and that just asserts itself, you know, sometimes, and I can kind of do scary stuff, and it doesn't quite make me do things either, but it makes it easier to do cruel things or dangerous things. More appealing to do, you know, invade someone's privacy or hurt someone in an unpleasant way.
Does it keep you awake at night?
Yeah, it did there was a while I really couldn't, I had to sleep, you know. I don't know how much you know about elves. We're a bit better known than Kalistar, I think, but you know, usually we just meditate, you know, but there's been a long time where I was just sleeping at night with nightmares or not sleeping at all, and even now I can't rest with meditation. And then I can't rest with nightmares either sometimes.
Do you know Kalistar don't dream?
Oh wow. No, I didn't know that.
We instead have the blessing, I guess, as some would call it. I call it a curse, of reliving memories of the soul linked to us.
So can your grandfather make you do things?
Ori notices one of the captain's hands slowly shake as the captain says, "Make me no, but he chooses what I see at night."
Hmm. That's awful. I wouldn't want to sleep. Did you ever meet him when he was on the material plane?
No, he died when my father was still pretty young.
Hmm. Do you think that Ravi the dragon was targeting you specifically then?
There's a moment of silence. Before the captain finally says, I don't know. I want to say no, but to be honest, I just don't know at this point.
Well, as long as we're your passengers, we're here to back you up. For sure. And you've been a good captain. It doesn't matter what's in our heads sometimes. It's the actions we take.
I know, I've been trying to change my family's name. You know, my father may not have been a pirate, but he wasn't exactly morally white, if that makes sense.
Sure.
There's some days just feel like my grandfather has cursed me and my family. I mean, my mom died when I was 5. My dad died to the end of the blade. Both those right in front of me, and I mean, I've seen my grandfather's death many times.
Here. Can I hug you?
The captain nods.
Or I'll just kind of gently like hug her, like from behind, just across the shoulders.
The captain will reach a hand back and put it on Ori's shoulder as Ori sees a tear slowly crawl down the side of her face.
I mean, it's amazing what you've accomplished. You've got a great ship and a great crew here, and it's it's kind of wild. Like we're really similar, you and I, in a lot of ways. You know, my father's still alive, but my mother died very young, and we've had to put some difficult family past behind us that maybe isn't as far behind as I hoped it was. But, you know, it's... Your grandpa can't, or your father can't take away what you've accomplished here. It really is impressive. I hope you know that.
I know, I just feel like some days it doesn't feel enough.
Hmm.
At this point, the captain will stand and turn around to face Ori and give Ori a big arm hug.
Aw. Yeah, or you'll hug her back.
The captain will... Sorry, go on.
Is that a Kalistar thing too, where you can peek into people's minds?
The captain nods.
Hmm.
Thank you, Ori. I really needed this.
I'm just glad I could help, and yeah, again, thank you for being such a wonderful captain to us.
The captain will look down at the floor of her cabin for a moment. And then she'll say, I don't suppose you'd be able to... never mind.
What? No. Wait, what? Please, if there's I honestly complained about having to pay you what we did to be on your ship, but really, I feel like if there's anything I can do to help you, please, you can always ask.
The captain will look down at the floor again and then say, I will, but I think it's probably best for you to get going and see to the rest of your party.
Or we'll give another quick hug and be like, if you're sure, have a good evening.
You too.
I think Ori brushes a little bit of wetness out of her eyes as right before she leaves the captain's cabin and then heads out onto the main deck.
What's the rest of the party doing during this time?
Eating, hopefully.
Yeah, it's like, I'm probably finding some grub.
Porter is able to whip up a slightly spicy, almost Cajun-styled soup. Had a lot more flavor than the beef stew you had when you first got here. It appeared that the crew found a few wonderful spices on the island too. Trael will pull out a deck of cards and then say, "All-right, if y'all want to play again, we need to set a limit here. All right?"
Yeah.
Of course.
Trail will look over at Ori and ask, "Where have you been?"
Getting some fresh air.
Make a deception check. Trail will look at you for a moment, Ori, then ask, I mean, it's not like we're locking you up in the brig. You didn't get enough fresh air on the island?
It's kind of muggy in the woods, you know. It's different when you're out in the ocean, the sea breeze. And maybe
Yeah,
I want some space. Maybe I just want some alone time. Gosh.
Alright. Didn't mean to cause a fuss. Don't get all teary-eyed on me. Anyways, ground rules. 2 silver buy-ins still. Let's say, 10 silver max bid?
I'm okay with that.
Okay, sure.
Alright. Who all is in? Porter?
Ori.
Billy? Porter will get up. Billy will try to sleep.
Ori will put her 2 into the pot.
Yep,
Ash,
too.
Mari?
Yep, I'm in.
What is it, /G? Is that what it is?
/R. You can also, if you click the die on the upper left-hand icons.
I thought you wanted us to whisper the rolls, though.
Isn't it
Yes,
GR?
yes. You click GM. Once you hold your mouse over the die, click GM, then it should whisper the roll to you.
Okay.
Nice. Okay. So it's a D8 first.
Yes, 1d8 first.
Sorry, I'm clicking wrong, I think.
Yes, make sure GM is highlighted on the die roll.
There we go. I see it now. Sorry.
Had to get a couple practice in.
Yeah, Corvus made a couple practice rolls. Who's gonna stop him?
Trael will look over towards Michaelmas. Michaelmas is starting the bidding this game.
I'll open with 2.
Well,
I'll
let's get
call.
Ash and Mari over.
Oh, sorry.
So,
Yeah.
Ash,
okay.
you're next.
I'm gonna fold.
I'm gonna call.
Or I'll call.
2 silver, I'll call.
Porter and Trail will also all call 2 silver. With that, everyone do 1d6. Trail looks over at Michaelmas again.
I'll put in another 2.
I will too.
Or you'll call.
I'm gonna raise to 4 silver.
I'll put in that 2 more. Is it my turn?
Porter is going to... Yeah, Porter will call it 4. Trail is gonna fold.
I'll do 2 more to get up to 4.
You too.
Or he folds.
Alright, with that, there are 4 people left in, so those 4 people need to roll 1d4. Michaelmas, you are up first.
So the 10 silver is 10 silver per round, or 10 silver
Per
at a
round.
time? Per round? I'll bring it up to 10.
I'm gonna fold.
How much did you raise it? Or what'd you bet?
2 brings it to 10.
I will call that.
Porter is going to fold, which means it's down to Michaelmas and Corvus.
Nice.
So we reveal then, or
Yep, reveal.
I got a 3 on my D4, a 5 on my D6, and a 3 on my D12. So 8, 9, 10, 11.
I got 14. I rolled a 5, a 5, and a 4.
Oh,
Nice.
Mickey.
I'll push the coins first, Corvus, and step out of the room again.
Oh.
As Michaelmas storms off, Corvus, you just won 64 silver.
Dang.
Nice
That was the
one,
total
Corvus.
pots. I hope you guys were keeping track of how much you actually bet.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Trail will look over at the open door for Michaelmas storming off, and will say, "Wow, he's a sore loser."
It's a real love-hate relationship he has with cards.
Sure seems like it.
Oh my gosh. I didn't even tell you guys. I saw him in one of the gambling dens I spent a weekend, back in Lux.
Interesting.
He was so embarrassed. He immediately left as soon as he saw me. He didn't even say hi.
Now you're making me sound bad.
Well, you looked kind of bad, my guy. Ori mostly finds this funny. She finds it very funny. She's not like hurt by this. She's laughing at you. To be
I
clear.
don't think that makes it better.
Well, I think it makes me feel better about Ori. I just want to be clear about how Ori's approaching this.
Yeah.
He's not good at gambling, but he is good in a fight.
Is that the only way you know how to compliment people, Corvus? They're good in a fight.
Is there a better way to compliment somebody?
You make me feel safe.
Is that because he can fight?
Partially. I just think it
See?
sounds. I personally think it sounds nicer. I'm giving an example of a nicer way to say you're good in a fight. That's what I was trying to do.
Trael
I
will
don't
roll
need
his-
anyone else to make me feel safe.
Trael will
You
roll
know.
his eyes and say, "Oh, why don't you two just make out already?"
Mari bursts out laughing.
Right. She is going to just dirty his shirt with precipitation.
Trael looks confused by what Ori's doing, then he suddenly looks down at his shirt and says, "Hey!"
Well, now you're just as gross on the outside as you are on the inside. And then she'll clean him up.
You are devious.
Hmm.
I like that.
Do me next. Make me dirty.
Sure? She'll make it kind of look. She wants to make it kind of look like Corvus is all like bloody and like muddy. I guess I don't know exactly what it means to like soil or clean something, you know. So I'm assuming I can like do a little bit of a visual effect. So his looks a bit more bloody. Where Trael probably looks like more like food grease mess.
Right. It won't be actual blood, but I'll say
Right,
it can look a little bloody.
Yeah.
So Corvus's little clothes, his boots, loincloth, and gloves suddenly look a little more dirty with blood stains.
Yes. This looks good.
Right?
Well, I can't take the tension anymore. I'm gonna go to bed.
No, don't say it like that.
With that, the crew and the party finally goes to bed in their hammocks as they slowly fall asleep to the sound of the crashing waves outside. We are actually going to end here a little bit early because this is a good place to stop. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Our next episode will be out in 2 weeks, so we will see you then.